Whoa, 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 whoa. I'm out, Dimitri. I'm out. Oh my God, something's gonna happen, mate. I am just a driver. Leave me the hell alone and work properly. That's why I bought you. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I'm Dimitri and this is MG Owners Australia. While our MG ZST continues being a joy and an easy car to deal with, there is nothing wrong, this MG HS top of the range model Essence is still bringing some points of worry for me personally, and this is another check-in vlog, whatever you want to call it, where I would like to talk to you a little bit about my woes with the dual clutch transmission and another really annoying electronic glitch that happened the other day with the car, and that made me again a little unsure where I stand with this car and how I feel about it. I'm not a massive fan of dual clutch transmission, and this is the first car where I have had experience with dual clutch transmission. We have two MGs in the family. ZST has dual clutch transmission, but maybe because it's a 1 year newer model as far as by design is concerned, as far as other than the compliance date, but the manufacturing date is 1 year younger than this car. Perhaps they would have ironed out some kinks there with the dual clutch transmission. I don't know what to attribute it to, but essentially in ZST there is no knocking sounds with dual clutch transmission. There is really no issues that I would have seen so far. ZST is my wife's car. I drive it maybe once a week, obviously not as much as this car, but we would have known if something was wrong with it. Here, put simply, the dual clutch transmission was worrying me from day one. There is nothing, it's not refusing to work or anything like that, but the way it works, the way it sounds, makes me worried, and I've been talking about it on far too many occasions, but today I have a specific, one particular scenario to bring to your attention, again, to continue maintaining a very all-rounded picture of what MG HS is like in, private ownership. When the car is on incline, when you drive up, or when you're waiting for traffic to pass before you merge onto the road, but you are on a lower road. So when you are on incline and you are about to drive this way, right? There is a particular scenario in my day-to-day driving where that happens rather frequently. So what I've noticed is that on that incline, and because of how this car is set up, it's an electronic brake, right? I do not want to engage electronic brake so that I don't roll back when I'm on an incline. I'm not a mechanic and I'm not an expert in dual clutch transmission, so please correct me if I'm wrong here. I probably am, but I think I'm right in a nutshell. Essentially, until the plates are engaged in the transmission, the car can and will roll back. So in order for that not to happen, and if I don't particularly want to put the pedal on the brake, if I just feel like it's a few seconds, and by few seconds I mean 5 to 15 seconds, 5 to 15 seconds, okay? And I'm on that little incline. It's not very steep, but I would say maybe it's 15 degrees. Maybe it's a 15-degree incline. What I was doing occasionally, I was sort of balancing the car with its own weight by simply keeping the foot on the pedal of accelerator, a little bit. So imagine that my foot is not on the brake and I'm ready to go, and the plates are engaged and the car is not rolling, and there is just a little weight before I merge onto that street up the hill and turn. So I just keep the foot on the pedal of accelerator. It's a little bit of effort for the engine to keep the car in motion. In my Jeep, in other cars, I didn't even have to have the pedal on accelerator. It would just hold it. It would just hold it like this with the power of the engine for me. Here, when I do that, when I just basically just keep it a little bit on accelerator so that there is some traction, so to speak, so that the plates of the DCT don't disengage, presumably if I start putting the foot on the brake, etc. I don't know if I'm explaining it well, but hopefully you follow me through this as a driver, especially if you're picturing it. So when I do that, literally for a few seconds, my friend, 5 seconds, like 5-10 seconds, it doesn't take long for this to come up. On this panel here, in the middle here, I get that warning, worrying warning, and probably for a good reason, that tells me, oh, either stop or accelerate, mate. None of this dilly-dallying that you're doing right now. I appreciate that I'm dilly-dallying, I just tried to walk you through why I do it. Yeah, I could just fully stop, and I could put the foot on the brake and just sit there, wait until traffic passes. Then the car doesn't have momentum. The car doesn't have momentum. DCT is working in such a way that it will try to roll back. It's harder, presumably, for the car to again gain momentum and move all this weight up. Do you know what I'm saying? So with those circumstances, I get that warning message, and it worries me. It worries me that the car considers this maybe not absolutely optimal way to operate, but surely not a worry-causing for the car, for the mechanicals way to operate it. I am a bit surprised and a bit concerned that, first of all, is it DCT? Is that drawing of that warning, is it actually DCT, or is it an overheating engine drawing? I think it's DCT. I think it's the transmission. Let me know in the comments down below. Secondly, why is it worried so early? It's not like I'm doing it for 30 seconds. I know it's probably preventative. It probably tries to tell me ahead of time, Dimitri, don't do this for too long, mate, or you will need a new DCT. We all drive a certain way, yeah? I drive a certain way. None of my other cars had transmissions generally fail, yeah? And this is how I drove my cars in the past, as you can imagine. It's not like I suddenly started driving this car over that specific hump in this particular way. No, no, no. This is the first car that tells me, whoa, 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 I'm out, Dimitri, I'm out. Oh my God, something's gonna happen, mate. I'm exaggerating a little bit just to add a little bit of a splash of humor to this rather than turn it into another complaint video. But this concerns me, and that is the first issue that I wanted to talk to you about today. And now the rain is getting louder. I assume that it probably will come through this microphone. I apologize if it is a little bit loud. Second thing, and this was electronics glitch. Oh my God, this car is all about electronics glitches. I was about to pick up my son from school. I parked next to the school. I locked the car, I left, we came back, both talking, everything is cool. As always, put the foot on the pedal of the brake, press the start of the engine button. Electricals came on, the lights came on, the dashboard lit up, infotainment lit up, the engine didn't start, and instead of that, straight away, there was an error message that I was just too shocked in a moment to take even a photo. The error message said something like, release steering, please release steering, or something. What steering? What does it mean? What should I release? Not like anything was locked, not like steering column was moved, like release what? What does it want? Literally just an error message, release steering or please release steering, something like that. If you're familiar with that, could you please qualify it for me and help me and my viewers perhaps who are also potentially alarmed by this theoretical possibility of them experiencing something similar? If you could explain what it is, why it is, and what should a person do. Because in my situation, when that was there, the steering wheel was completely locked because it's electrical steering, it's not mechanical, right? So I couldn't move the steering wheel without applying significant force, and I didn't want to break anything, obviously. Secondary presses on the power button to turn the engine off, just normal presses, didn't work. It just ignored me. Everything was still lit up, engine was not on, it was just standing there dead in the water, so to speak, yeah? And what happened was, again, as with that glitch that I reported in one of my early videos when I said that I was locked out and it was not responding to remote control for a few 20 seconds or something, and I felt completely stranded and annoyed. Here was the same thing, except we were inside of the car. It wasn't responding, it was on. The error message was not descriptive enough for me to understand even what's going on or what am I supposed to release. What do you want me to release? I'm not touching anything. Just turn off or turn on, like what? What I think I've done, I gave it like 10 seconds. Then I pressed the start engine button and held it. And it's not because I know some trick. It's because I thought, what if it works similarly to how a PC works? Computer, if there is a substantial glitch and you can't do anything, take it as a word from an old IT techie. If you press power button down and hold it for 4 seconds, it will either turn off the PC and then you're able to turn it back on, or it will restart it, depending on exactly how your PC is configured. So I don't know, somewhere behind in my mind, I thought maybe it works similarly. It's all about electronics, right? It's a one big computer that we're driving here. So I pressed and held it, and maybe it just decided to turn off, or maybe it actually responded to my signal, but then everything went off. It turned off. It was black like now, like when it was not. And then, just like I'm gonna do now, put the foot on the pedal, press the button once, and the engine came on. Everything was fine once again. Unpleasant, I would say electronic glitch. And why do I call it glitch? Why do I insist on it? And that time it was definitely not a user error. It was not something that I've done. Is because between those button presses, engine turning off, engine turning back on, I've done nothing. I've done nothing. It's not like it was telling me to release steering or whatever it was, but it's not like I released anything. I just managed to turn it off and then turn it back on. And it came on, back on, and everything was fine again. Temperamental, annoying, horrible electricals. That is what I'm gonna summarize for you, my friends. Once again, hoping, fingers crossed, that at least one out of our two cars, which is ZST in the family, continues being, fingers crossed again, rock solid as it so far has been. And this has these temperamental glitches all the bloody time. Either DCT is glitching out and panicking, or now these electricals, or whatever I should attribute it to, release steering column. What? For what? What am I releasing? It is so freaking annoying, my friends. I can't even tell you exactly how annoying it is. Is it still a good car, Dimitri? Yeah, it's still a good car. But in all honesty, with this little death by 1,000 cuts effect that I'm having right now, like I have a feeling that it's a death by 1,000 cuts. My faith in this car specifically, not the brand, but the car specifically, is diminishing every single time. It bothers me with unnecessary stuff where I am just a driver. Leave me the hell alone and work properly. That's why I bought you. But instead of that, when these glitches, these things start happening, you're like, oh, come on, man. Like, oh, come on. Do you know what I'm saying? Let me know below, in the comments down below. As always, I love talking to you. I love sharing these impressions with you. Appreciate your support, appreciate your likes. And welcome again if you watched until this point in the video, which is considered to be by YouTube standards late into the video. Very few people watch up to this point, believe it or not. So if you did, you are one of the best ones. You are awesome, okay? Never let anyone tell you otherwise. I appreciate your support. I appreciate this little club growing. And welcome your opinions. What am I doing wrong? What is the car trying to tell me? Any insights that you can share are always appreciated. Subscribe if you haven't already. The videos of this nature keep being released once a week, roughly once a week, often more frequently, but lately I've been very busy, so once a week. And will continue being so. So please subscribe, share opinions, make suggestions. All of that is very welcome here. I'll be speaking with you again about something else. ZST, MG HS, comparison of the cars related sometime soon. See you later. Bye for now.